Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday from Arni's. Happy birthday to you. Woo!
Welcome to our Arni's birthday Zoom. This is an all-time record today for June 27th, 26th birthday for number 2. That's Elijah Sindelar for Purdue football fans and Purdue people that know Elijah well. Up at 4 o'clock this morning, his time, got a little workout in on the birthday workout. He'll be getting ready for work here at Logan Aluminum is your place of work, electrical engineering, electrical engineer. But first, happy birthday and welcome to what has to be the highlight of your media career, the Arni's Birthday Zoom.
That's right. Thank you for having me, and I'm happy to be here. Happy to do this. This is exciting. I appreciate it.
Well, at 26, the grand old age of 26, you've obviously had some opportunities. You're living now back closer to your, about what, an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes from where you grew up in Princeton. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing with Logan Aluminum, using that good Purdue degree, great Purdue degree in electrical engineering, and what you'll be doing later today when you head off to work.
That's right. So I came on board at Logan Aluminum just last October, actually. I swapped over from FCA and working as an electrical engineer. And basically what we do is we cast our aluminums and then we roll them into coils, and we basically primarily make can body or can end taps, which is a little bit harder material. But for the most part, we just make the aluminum and then we send it out. But it's been really cool. I specifically work in the finishing mill, which takes the final reduction in the hot mill before it goes to the cold mill to be rolled down to the final thickness for the aluminum cans. But it's been a wonderful change of pace for me, being able to be hands-on, getting my hands kind of dirty in electrical cabinets and rewiring certain equipment and working on motor reliability and all sorts of stuff. So I mean, it's the learning curve is kind of never ending, and that's how I like it. I'm just constantly getting into new stuff. There's new problems, new things to fix, and I feel like a kid in a candy shop.
Yeah, when you were growing up, were you a kid that could fix anything, or I mean, did you have family that taught you how to do those kinds of things? I mean, how did you get interested in being an engineer? Is it just your math brain, or how did that all come to pass?
That would be my dad. My dad's an electrical engineer, and we grew up. I would always be fixing things with him. He still does it, still fixing things. And I just really grew accustomed to that and really found a passion for it, especially in the electrical field. But I owe it to him. We would even just on like long car trips or going out to baseball or basketball games, even football camps, we would play a game in the car, which is basically just a math game. He would give me a math equation and I would solve it in my head, and that was kind of what we did for fun. So that was kind of my childhood, and I enjoyed every bit of it.
Well, speaking of childhoods, I can't imagine solving math problems in the car. I think we played ABCs in our car, but that's good. That fits for you. Tell us about what the birthday traditions were. And obviously June 27th is a special day in the Sindelar household, but any traditions growing up? You probably might have been involved with baseball in the middle of or football camps, but tell us about what might have been a typical birthday for you growing up.
That's right. For the most part, it wasn't anything pretty unique, I'll be honest. For the most part in the summers, especially in high school, I would actually be playing all 3 sports. So we would have football in the morning from 8 to 10, basketball 10 to 12, and then we would usually have some baseball games in the afternoon if I wasn't already traveling. It depends on kind of when the 27th hit, but for the most part, it would be all sports, which is my absolute passion. So that for me was the best birthday, being able to play all 3 in the same day. Now, as I'm older, it's been a little bit more hectic, especially since, I've only been married for 2 years and we're kind of trying to establish our own traditions and haven't quite gotten one yet, especially this month or this year, I'll say, is we've had a pretty crazy month already and going to have another crazy month in July. We were in Houston last week and had a wedding. We actually went to Grant Herman's wedding yesterday. Yeah. So that was super fun getting to see some of those guys. And my sister's having a baby in about a week and a half or so. I think July 8th is her due date. And we'll be in Wisconsin on the 4th. So it's just very difficult to find time to just celebrate my birthday. So I think for the most part, with us traveling so much, we're going to kind of sit back and relax and just enjoy it with just us three. My wife and I have a wonderful son who's almost 10 months now, a week from 10 months. We're just going to kind of hang at home and enjoy, our time together.
And your son's name?
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel. There you go. And of course, Allie, that's you've got a lot on your plate, and that's an exciting thing from that standpoint. All right, when you have the opportunity, that competitive edge that you had for so many years and playing all those sports and playing them well. I mean, you weren't just an excellent football player. You pitched obviously at Purdue, but also in basketball. How do you keep that competitive edge? I know you worked out already this morning at 4:00 your time, which is great.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about your workout regimen, but also how you keep that competitive edge, or what you do to keep that as well.
Sure. And it kind of falls down to just staying in the same routine and mindset that I've had for so long. Football really instilled that discipline and getting up early and showing up, putting in the work, putting in the effort. So what I found for me that worked best was working out at 4 a.m. Simply because I enjoy being a dad so much that when I got home afternoons, I didn't want to work out. I just wanted to play with my son. So when that kind of became a reality for me, it was either I work out at 4 a.m. or I don't work out, and not working out wasn't an option. So that's kind of how the route that I chose, and having that competitive, mindset honestly translates straight into the workforce and with Logan Aluminum, and not only just being an electrical engineer, but being in a team setting and trying to be the best electrical engineer I can, and trying to go above and beyond, putting in extra effort. And if I don't understand a particular problem or particular machinery or however that equipment may work, I put in the extra time to research it, learn about it, and get an understanding before just making a change or trying to make an improvement. I basically identifying that risk versus reward. So for me, it's translated strictly, almost 100% over from athletics into the workforce, and trying to be a leader in my team. So like I said, I'm in the finishing mill and just trying to be one of those guys that can be a leader. Even though I'm one of the younger guys, obviously, it's still something that I'm very passionate about, of being a leader and trying to lead guys towards a common goal.
All right, last question, because you've got a busy day ahead, but Purdue football is still near and dear to your heart. Got a pretty good quarterback. You still have a very close relationship with David Blau, but you also were around Aidan O'Connell, I assume, a little bit during your career. And tell us a little bit about what you see and what you're going to see not only out of him, but hopefully out of the Boilermakers this year in 2022.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had the pleasure of knowing Aidan very well. I wouldn't say very well. He was a little bit younger than I was, but strong Christian's got a great faith, does really well with the kids and being a role model. And that's something that I was passionate about as well. And seeing that carried on through Aidan is really cool. And he's really coming into his own and just embracing the process and being a leader. And I've been very impressed with his decision-making and how he's done with leading the team and kind of embracing that position. So I see great things from him. I think he's got a very bright future, not only in athletics, but after athletic career. And I'm super excited for him. And I think the Boilermakers are going to be really good this year. I think that they've got a few questions that need to be answered with some guys leaving some key positions. But for the most part, I think we can expect to see some really cool things and some really awesome plays and some highlights. And I think Coach Brahm does a very good job of putting his players in a position to be successful and utilizing their skill set or their team. So not using the same strategy he used last year with some of those guys that have left. He'll build a strategy around the guys that he has this year. And that's what makes him so successful. So I'm excited. I think we have a really good chance to put forth a very good record with our schedule. And I'm just excited for it. I'm hoping to make it up to a game. My wife and I's goal is to try to make it to at least one every year. So we're pretty excited.
Well, there'll be a place for you. Okay, all right. And the second to last question, but beating Tennessee in that last bowl game, you being a Kentucky guy, I'm going to guess that was extra special for you. If I'm hazarding a guess, and of course Purdue's bowl victory over Tennessee in a game that just ended a couple minutes ago. I think it was like a 5.5 hour game. But what that mean to you?
Oh, it meant, I mean, it was bragging rights, especially now that I work at Logan Aluminum here in Kentucky. We've got a lot of Tennessee fans too. And of course, a lot of the guys that I work with know I went to Purdue, and it was just bragging rights and giving everybody a hard time. I mean, it was that the next week really after that game was so much fun. I especially, putting forth some presentations and stuff, just plastering that picture of, the score and Purdue on the first page it was just a lot of fun, giving some guys, giving them a hard time, but it was great. And what a feeling, what a game to watch. I mean, you wouldn't have it any other way. That's just a great feeling.
Yeah, in the Bowling Green area where you live now, you're only what 45 minutes from the border, or from you're not too far from Nashville, really.
That's right.
Down there, which is a good. Yeah. Well, hey, Elijah, thanks so much for taking the time today. You're going to get more done before 9 o'clock than the rest of us are going to get done all day. But have a great birthday. Enjoy your son. Enjoy your lovely family. And we'll look forward to seeing you up in West Lafayette this year. And the Boilermakers, like you said, a lot of opportunities ahead for Purdue. And that's going to be a fun thing as well to watch.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you.